Respect. All right. So, welcome back to Smitty's Corner. So, for this morning, evening, we're going to go ahead and we're going to tap in on something that was brought to my attention as far as music and how has it changed, and is music still good? All right. So, I'm going to start off with this just to give you all my background. I started writing at the age of 15, and about the age of 23, I came out with my first album. Might have been a little earlier, but I named it 15 to 23. That was the first album I came out with. Why am I telling you about my album? Because majority of the songs that's on my album is definitely heavily influenced by the ones that I listened to before I started putting that pen to the pad. There was a heavy influence of manhood, accountability, be about your business, but there's rules to this. There are rules to this, you see? So, I'm listening to artists that I came up to. Yes, definitely they were in the streets. Yes. Majority of the artists that I listen to, they have a criminal history. Yeah, they do. But see, the thing is that majority of the artists that I listen to nowadays, they're still alive, regardless of their state, regardless if they're still in the headlines or not. They're still alive. And I be thinking about that. Like all these artists now, that a lot of them, tremendous talent, definitely have a catchy tune, something that can go somewhere, and maybe even outside of the music. And we never get a chance to ever see or hear about that, because music nowadays is something that's it's absolutely positively nothing about your talent. It's really about, at this point, how much can you shock the world? How big of a wow can you give us? And so far, unfortunately, the biggest wow that we've been able to get is young black men passing away. So when I think about the correlation, and when I think about how nowadays, let's really think about this, like hip hop as opposed to rap. Back in the day, that was a real actual definition. It's almost like go-go and rave music. There's an actual real sound, everything description. No one would ever confuse, well, at least the folks that's in this area, DMV, shout out. No one in this area would confuse a go-go song with a rave type song, a house song. No one would ever confuse, shout out to the B-More side, no one would ever confuse a house song, a rave song for a go-go song. Soon as you hear it, you like, oh nah, that's... But you know what? we've gotten to the point where it's like you can just simply say, oh no, this is that and that is this. Hip hop actually was a sound that was provided that gave more of a jazzy feel. It was smoother. It made you think. When you turned on hip hop, you wanted to, even if you're sparking your gas, you wanted to go ahead and you wanted to light some incense and you wanted to use some natural soaps and shit, you know? You wanted to go somewhere and lay barefoot with your girl and make you chill. Rap, it can do that, but generally speaking, rap music is the type of music that brings a lot more, should we say, force and energy with it. It's a different type of energy that comes with actual rap. Now, back when I was coming up, right? Shout out to the 80s babies. When I was coming up, we had rap, right? We had hip hop, and then we also had gangster rap. I guess you guys nowadays would call that drill. So let's speak on it. See, the thing is that drill music, a lot of the beats, well, they're very dark. I don't know if I'm the only one that wants to speak up and say something about that. It's very, very dark. A lot of these beats sound very, very cold dungeon-like. There's no real instruments. It literally is the type of sound to put you in the mind state of do not have a concern for life. And that's really what I be hearing. Now, maybe it's just me, but that's what I be hearing. I'm really trying to figure this out, right? How or why is it that majority of the people that I grew up with, and we came up to some hard stuff, you know? We did. And it wasn't just for that time. No, it was. When you're listening to Scarface, of course, when you're listening to Pac, you know, I mean, anything rap a lot at that time for the most part. When you're listening to Hot Boys, when you're listening to No Limit, you know, all of these things, not to mention listening to the Lox and Junior Mafia. All these things we came up to. Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep was anything but soft. But how is it how is it that majority of my generation was able to listen to these things and still get up and go to school and still dress a certain way for a job interview and still walk across that stage and get their degree and still go ahead and move on with their life? See, where I've came to the conclusion is it's not that, to a degree, the music is worse, but that's not the point. We've been talking about hood stuff. We've been talking about, gangster this and, I cap you down, however you. We've been doing these things. I'm trying to figure out at what point did we start actually on a mass majority level start trying to live these things out? From the music, the TV shows like reality shows, which isn't reality. It's not reality. No. So it's very confusing to me when I sit here and I'm listening and I'm paying attention, and I'm not just in a play mind state. I always know the powers that be are out to get us. So I don't take my time to go ahead and keep on trying to pull race cards and all of that. Nah, I just pay attention to how the little things they pop up on us, and how for some reason it seems to only affect us, and then it just disappears after the damage is done. Yep. I take time to look at these things. And yes, I'm fully aware, Smitty, you had too much to smoke or drink or whatever it is. Smitty, you read too many damn books. Smitty, you need to get out of the anime and the Wi-Fi. I said Wi-Fi. I mean the anime and the sci-fi. I'm tripping. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe I do need to take a little break from that. But one thing that I do know, from music to shows and everything, even the ones that's fiction, and even the ones that's non-fiction, they all show a nice bit of truth within them. So that's why I take time to pay attention to all of these things that I'm seeing. You see? And definitely one thing that I've noticed is that the music today is a lot more hypnotic than before. If you really was to ask me, I would say there is something definitely a lot more sinister that is going on. Even with the love songs. All of it. Country, you name it. Reggae. It's hit almost all of it. The only thing that I would say that is still somewhat, for the most part, because I listen to it, is intact, is classical. Classical music has not changed for the most part. It hasn't. It hasn't really changed. It just sounds better. But you name it. You name it. I don't care what the genre is. The fact is that music has gotten to the point where, because we play it, we hear it so much. You get out your car, you go into work, wherever you work. Generally, a lot of places, not everybody, but music is playing all day. You got that rotation of songs you hear all day. You then get in your car, even if it's what you want to hear. Most people don't ride home silent. Now you're in your car and you're listening to what? More music. Almost every advertisement, business has some kind of jingle, a theme, a song. Music is extremely influential. Once upon a time, people, we could listen to music and go about our lives. Unfortunately, excuse me. Unfortunately, we're now at a point where